Hi, I'm Gary Kim, the editor of IP Business Magazine, and I'm here today with Michael Manspeizer, who's the director of Telecom at a company called D.F. King & Company. Now, I take it you're not a telephone company, so why don't you explain who you are?
Sure. We're a call center on the back end, and we have about 650 seats over at the Brooklyn Army Terminal, and that's part of what we do on the call center side. We do some corporate consulting and so on, but the mechanical end of how we get things done in the business process is done at the call center.
Now, I understand you're interested in voice peering, and this is fascinating to me because up to this point it's all been telephone companies and carriers.
Right.
What's the attraction for you?
Well, for us, it's a way to drive costs down, have some options as opposed to being tied into one or two telco carriers and the different issues that come up with contracts and with basically being held hostage. We can partner in an environment like the voice peering fabric and in a place like Telex, and we can actually build part of the road ourselves, the access piece, and then utilize the telcos that work for us.
Mm-hmm. And how much dynamism is there when you go into a facility like Telex or you use the voice peering fabric in terms of how frequently you can adjust the business relationships in terms of carriers you want to use?
It's almost unlimited. We can do it on a daily basis. It all depends on where we're going to. We do some international calling, so sometimes it behooves us to contact carriers in the international arena as opposed to the standard players like AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, etc. And sometimes it's in our interest to use those carriers as well. So cost is a big factor, responsiveness is a factor, and also sometimes as we contract with our end users, our customers, they have a requirement to use certain carriers. And so we're able to set up access fairly quickly by using a setup like this.
In addition to the obvious cost advantages, are there other advantages that you can identify with being part of a peering fabric?
Well, we're dipping our toe into using the enum to gain information that way. We want to. One of the things that we're looking to do is utilize predictive dialing in a SIP environment, and we've had some difficulties in trying to do that. But what we find is working with people like Srihari and with Hunter and some of their staff members, we're able to ask a question, get a response, and if we don't get a response right away, at least we know that someone's working on it, as opposed to working with a very large telco. If it falls out of the realm of the contract, there's really no interest in providing that type of a service. So sometimes they might not have an answer, but they say, hey, you know what, that's a great idea. Let's see how we can partner and work together. So it's kind of fluid. It's kind of it's a bit of cross-pollination that goes on there. We enjoy that part of it.
Tell me something about how it is to explain what you're trying to do here with your senior management, because I've got to believe this is one of those things that they go gobbledygook. I don't know what you're talking about.
And there was a lot of that, but what I was able to do is basically say, okay, this is the way the setup was at the beginning when I first got to the company. This is what we're proposing to do. And basically there was a tremendous cost savings involved. It doesn't always happen that way, especially after you do it the first couple of times. There's only so much cost that you can shave down. But when you go from paying, let's say, $17,000 for a DS3 directly delivered to $1,500 for a DS3, there's compelling reasons over there. And because of that, we're then able to take some of that savings and experiment and use different techniques. What that also does, it gives people in the MIS department in our group, people like myself and Anthony Biondo, who's the CIO of our company, some credibility and say, hey, we saved money doing this, a sizable amount of money. Now we'd like to experiment and do this. And because of our track record, we get the buy-in of senior management with that.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Michael.
My pleasure, guys. Nice meeting you in person.
Great. Thanks for watching.